Happy Sunday. You guys find me getting ready to run a quick errand today. I'm gonna throw some earrings on really quickly, and then before I run out to run our little errands, which is to pick up a new planner and a few things that are gonna go with it, I wanted to talk about Scentbox. This is not sponsored. I just want to talk about it because I feel like sometimes I don't have all of the time in the pockets where I use this to mention it, and so this is something that we've been trying for the last few months. Box lets you do premium perfumes, so the luxury end perfumes that you see a lot of people talking about, the Parfum de Marly, the Baccarat Rouge 540, the brands that tend to either only sell sample sizes or only sell smaller sizes, where, so the smallest bottle of a Tom Ford Lost Cherry perfume, which is this size, this is my Scentbox perfume. It is, I will put the size on screen, is $90. It is a luxury premium price, and it doesn't always feel worth it. It can feel like you don't get enough for the bottle. It also can feel like you're not getting to try as much as you want, but then in my case, I really wanted, when I was looking at perfumes, I tried a couple in Ulta, and there were a few that I was curious about, and I was looking at the size comparison between like a travel size of those style perfumes, which are normally about this size. I wanted to have more travel style bottles, and I wanted something that was easy to kind of throw in my handbag, and I thought, do I go back to Scentbox? Do I try it again? It's been a while. Maybe now is the time to go back to this one. Ended up Googling it and accidentally clicked a couple links down and landed on Scentbox. So glad that I did, because when I went back after I'd fully signed up for Scentbox and looked at everything Scentbox had to offer, I was so grateful for Scentbox because it has so many more options available that I really want to try that feel like the style of luxury perfume that I want, but I don't necessarily need 10, 15, 20 bottles of, you know, $300, $400 perfume, but I do like trying the different scents on. I love to know how they compare to the dupe inspired versions of their perfumes, and it's just something that I find really interesting and have wanted to give a go for a while. Now that being said, we've tried two so far, and this is the caveat with the two. So vanilla powder is one. I get compliments on this every time I wear it. Somebody loves it. It is phenomenal. It does have a more intense version of this perfume, but I love this one. And then I have the Parfum Marly Delinea, the one that everybody loves and tries. The thing I also love about these bottles is they're the twist up ones, which makes it perfect for throwing in your handbag and not having to worry about it like accidentally being sprayed. It's just easy to grab and go, which is exactly what I wanted. There are 3 different subscription plans when you sign up. I went for the highest premium one because I wanted the most options available, and even then I was looking at the time at a Prada size perfume that would have been this size, and I think it was like $37 for that. I believe it was like $30-ish a month for just having the options for everything available. The one thing, this is like my only thing so far, I think it's not my favorite part. If you're really wanting to try specific perfumes, when you stick stuff in your queue, because I'm constantly kind of tweaking and changing it, I've had several perfumes where they've sold out before it's gotten to the time of the month where it's meant to ship them. Now you can go in and order an individual, like the same size of this, and go ahead and get it shipped to you if you're like, I want it now. I don't want to have to wait. I don't want to worry about the fact that it might sell out before it's time for me to get it, because it's definitely happened to me, and that's probably what I will do in the future with a few. I had a Prada one that was the first one we were going to do, and that ended up selling out. There's a Jo Malone blackberry, and blackberry or blueberry, I can't remember, that I had this month, and that ended up selling out. So keeping an eye on that and going ahead and getting it when it is available might be something that is worth noting, but I just really have loved this for the last few months. It's just brought a lot of joy to me, but it's also meant that I've gotten to try a lot of perfumes that I probably wouldn't have the other opportunity without ordering the very tiny samples from like Lucky Scent, which is lovely, but a lot of the times I don't get to have the consistent wear test of them. And some of these I've found, even as they've kind of sat here for a little bit longer and gotten used to the temperature and the humidity and all of the other things that, you know, naturally impact our products and the space that they live in, I love these perfumes even more. So I will link this down below. I am a big fan of it. It is not sponsored, but trying one of the Bloom Shirley Temples today, and I have to say I don't love this one as much. I just don't think I'm as much of a Bloom girly. I've had one of the Olipop's and I ordered some from Amazon, but I don't think they're shipping as quickly as I hope they would. So I grabbed this one today. Well, it was the backup option, and it's just a little too fake sweet for me. So if you're somebody who likes an Olipop, I don't know that the Bloom's gonna be right up your street. Do you want to tell everybody hi? Yeah. Well, I was going to go for a walk outside, but my phone doesn't want to turn on right now, and I don't feel like getting my iPad to figure out how to reset it right now. So I guess it is going to be a treadmill walk today, which isn't an ideal one, but it is fine. This morning, I didn't get, You're currently being directed by Asher's film debut. I woke up this morning to him tapping me in the ribs to get me awake. So instead of doing his usual chaos, because whenever he sleeps in the bed with me, like, you can feel him moving around. I could feel that he was contemplating how he was going to tell me he was ready for me to get awake. And then he kind of crawled up the bed and then went into my ribs and just went boop to say that he was ready for me to help him start his day. Come up and show everyone that your cuddling skills are amazing today. Every time I hear somebody say their husky doesn't like to cuddle, this is what mine wants to do. Half of the day. Unless he's busy. But before we have a little Sephora haul for today. I didn't pick up anything too crazy. Just some essentials and then 1 or 2 products that I wanted to replace in my routine. I grabbed some of the milk primer, but I grabbed a different one. I feel like my side pores have been just a bit more obnoxious. They've been a bit more noticeable, so I've been wanting to add a primer in, and I still have some of my Huda one, but I wanted to try another one just in case to see how I was feeling. This is the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer, lightweight 90% natural water creamer primer that locks on makeup, blurs pores, and controls shine. Don't necessarily need to control too much shine depending on the foundation of the day, but I think it'll be a nice one. I got a replacement for my Lancome lash primer because I use 3 products for my lashes every day. I am very specific about that part, and this has become quite an essential, and we're just at the point where it very much needs to be replaced. I feel like I go through one of these every 6 months or so. That might not be the most accurate for when I need to replace it, but it's when it happens. Another benefit, precisely my brow. I got a new product from K18, and it is essentially a leave-in conditioner kind of detangler. I noticed that normally when I do my hair styling, I have some kind of heat protectant that is just a spray on, and it's meant to be a detangler. And when I ran out of my last one, I replaced it with the Bondi Boost one, and that is not a detangler. It's a heat protectant, but it's not a detangler. And because I have bleached hair, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can at every stage to make it easy to kind of maintain, but also to like easy to work my hands through so that I'm not adding to the breakage that happens. So I ended up looking around on Ulta, looking around on Sephora, and I saw that K18 had this one, and I thought, just in the mood to try a smaller product today, so I went ahead and grabbed this one because I do love a K18 product. And then the last thing that I picked up was a Tower 28 lip gloss. I am a multi-lip product girly depending on the day. It's normally a lip liner, maybe 1 or 2 lip liners, like an outer one, an inner one, and then a lipstick, and then a lip gloss. And I have used up pretty much all of the ones that I've had in my collection. So I had a couple of Tarte, like juicy ones. I've used those up. I love the Dior lip oil, but that one I use more occasionally. I've had the Kosas one. I've had another Tower 28 one, I believe. I've just had quite a few, and I've had the Hourglass one. Hourglass Crave was my topper for a while, but I wanted something today that would give me the color match that I want, because a lot of times what happens is Dior Pillow Talk is a little bit too dark for my skin tone, so having something that is a little bit creamier, a little bit lighter, brings up and keeps that it looking so muddy on my face. So this was what I wanted, just something that is a lighter pink. I looked at a bunch of different swatches, and I think this would be good for a lazy day when I just want to put liner and lip gloss on, but then when I do really need something to kind of help shift the tone of what I've got as the base, this is in the middle, and it's not too pink and it's not too dark, but it's also not too bright. It just kind of fits perfectly in that range, so we will try this tomorrow.
We're going to have all the different layering, but when the dancer is moving, you're going to have that sort of flash of colour the whole time. So this is actually fascinating as a costume. It's a costume that was remade at the end of the run of the...
Quickest and simplest lunch today. I have a base of cucumbers chopped up underneath. I have been making this on repeat and like craving it every single day. It's cucumbers, it is taco meat, hamburger meat cooked with taco seasoning, a dollop of dairy-free sour cream on top, and then I have a small bowl of tortilla chips to go with it. I'll eat most of this with like just a spoon and kind of mix up the sour cream to make it really creamy and decadent and just It's already so flavorful, but this has been such a wonderful thing for me when I just think I want to get a little bit of everything. I want to make sure that I'm getting some protein in. You could obviously add in more vegetables. This would be a great opportunity to like chuck a bunch of vegetables in your vegetable chopper and use them as the base of this bowl. But it's perfect for me, and it's just been honestly something I'm craving, and I love that for me because it is so simple. So I ordered 2 variations for us to try today, and they are these earring support patches. I know sometimes people will use band-aids, but I wanted something ideally that would actually just be like kind of similar to how the acne dots are, where you can just pull the dot off one at a time, and that didn't give me any struggle. But I couldn't see all of the photos. Like, they didn't have photos showing the individual product setup for some of these for at least one of them on Amazon. So I thought I'd get both and we could give them a try, because they're really great if you're somebody whose earring holes have kind of dragged a little bit. This hole on my right side has gotten a lot lower over the years, more so because when I was working my 9 to 5, I had a window where I was just on the phone every single day, and a lot of times that meant like I was just kind of holding the phone to my ear and it was pressing into my earring. I think I've applied that in the right side, so let's just see. I feel like it's definitely more up than it normally would be. Let's try the other side without it, although to be fair, I probably should have done this the opposite way, so we will do that the next time. So let's see. Can you tell that this is hanging a little more? And does this look more secure up top? It feels more secure. Like, there feels like there's less wiggles. Let's see, on a hole that's not as like pulled through, let's see what the difference is when I apply one. I think it's gonna take a little bit of time to perfect the technique of applying. It almost feels like false lashes. Like, it's just, without being able to see anything, and especially just trying to do this here. It might have been easier if I'd done it with a mirror, but I ended up getting the tweezers to move it, but it was stuck on. So that is good to know. Either way, I feel like this is a good first try. We will keep testing them, and I will come back with a full review on these after I've had a few opportunities to give them a go with a couple of different style ears. Quick outfit of the day on my way out the door. I have a tank from Target that I'm actually going to go see about getting a smaller one. The fit is not quite right, so I'm going to try a smaller size and see if I like that a little bit better. I have pants on that are from Amazon. These glasses are Privé, I believe. I have some old Sam Edelman mules, which love having a woven pair of mules in your wardrobe is essential. And then I have this in need of replacing bag from, I believe, I will link it down below. It's like West 22. It is a dupe from the Bottega bag, but I love it. And this is just something very casual. It is starting to get quite warm outside, so we need to keep it a little more simple. I was going to do a button down today, but we're just not in the mood for that. So this is just nice and comfy and casual, and it means that I'm not like sweating my face off while I run errands. I ended up picking up a new record today because adding to my record collection is really helping me stay off my phone. It just makes me more excited to be in the kitchen and kind of cooking in the evening, especially on days where I just feel like I don't want to. I'm trying to make it a habit that I enjoy and I want to do, so I went ahead and grabbed the Maroon 5 vinyl. I was looking through the website before I went in just to see what I might be kind of wanting to add to the collection, what felt like the vibe, and this is an album I haven't listened to in a really long time, so we added another vinyl to the collection, which is very, very helpful to keep me motivated. I don't tend to go too crazy off list. I'll pick up things that I think the dogs might need, and then I ended up grabbing one thing that I wasn't expecting, maybe 2 of those. I grabbed Allie Hazelwood's 2 Can Play. I am hit or miss with my feelings on Allie. Sometimes we completely mash and it works for me. Sometimes I come out of it being like, I have really complicated feelings about that story, and I don't feel like I enjoyed how you told it, which is valid. It's just part of the process of reading. But I would like to go to the beach more this year, or at least make it a point to go to the beach a couple of times. And this is like the perfect motivation to go to the beach because it's a novella. So this could be something that I do in an afternoon when I'm just wanting to treat myself away from the 4 walls of my home to get out and about for a little while. So we're adding that to the list. I picked up, of course, the tank top that I'm wearing right now and just 2 smaller versions of it. I already bought a pink one. I bought pink, I bought blue, and I bought yellow. I've already worn the yellow, wearing blue right now. And then I bought the blue and a smaller one, and I figure worst comes to worst, the smaller ones become a sleep shirt, or mom can wear them, or there's plenty of people in the like group that are of the size that might want something that's a little bit roomier. So that's perfect. And I grabbed those. And while I was in the store, of course, some lady saw me wearing it. She was like, oh my gosh, she had just picked up. She was like, is that what I got in my hand? I was like, yeah, it is. So I got to be some of these outfit inspo. And then I grabbed a little handbag. I was looking at a bunch of these because quite a few of my staple ones are just done. So they don't necessarily look like it from camera, but when you're looking in person, either the leather's ripped out at the top. I've just worn and used them to death for the last 6 or 7 years. So I'm kind of slowly adding things in, but there's also a handful of bags where outfits is a big part of my creativity, like creating an outfit every single day that makes me feel exciting, that makes me feel like the main character energy. It's really been a big part of my healing journey, especially as somebody who grew up as a 90s kid and lived in the time of supermodel thin and felt like there was no representation for her. Choosing an outfit every single day and all of the little details makes me feel like I am worthy of being loved and that I get to be cared for and that I am seen. It's a way that I take care of me. So when it comes to outfits and having all of the little things, it's a way that I express my love to myself, and it's also a way of expressing my creativity. So when I buy things, I tend to buy them very intentionally. I also buy them with the mindset of investment and how I'm investing in them and what does it look like long term for me to have these things. I'm not somebody who just frivolously adds into my closet all the time. This is a lovely little spring bag, and the one thing I find, because I have two other, well, I have a few woven bags. They're all different styles, they're all different shapes, but specifically because what you'll find with most woven bags is they don't have the lining underneath. So I have one that's back there in the closet from Amazon that I love. It's a longer one, but it has all of the holes. It's very wide and you don't really have the ability to like put anything small in it without worrying that it's going to fall through. So this is a nice size when I just want something to kind of put right here, and it's also perfect because I don't necessarily have anything in this specific shade of brown.
It's a tough call. They're so different.
Some people will get it, some people will be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But the thing that I find I can struggle with when it comes to styling brown is if you're either too cool toned or if it's too orange toned, and that ends up throwing off the outfit, or it ends up like not pulling it together in a way that feels as cohesive as I want it to be, and it doesn't feel like the vision that I'm holding. So I was happy with this. I looked at these 4 bags and I just couldn't settle on one. Some of them felt a little dingy to me just looking at the coloring. I know they are a inspired version of the bag that was at Anthropologie that was popular a few years ago. I think that was, I want to say it was a Staub bag. Schutz or Staub, I can't remember. So I'm gonna call it the wrong thing, and I own things from both of those brands. I am so sorry, but I was looking at them and they're really cute, but it still wasn't like, oh my gosh, love, love, love. I think I would buy it because it was available and it matched something that I was wearing, because the blue and lemon one was really something I was interested in. But I thought, well, let's go home and think about it. If you're still like so obsessed with it in the next couple of days, you can come back and get it. But there's a few bags on Anthropologie that I was looking at the other night that are on my list and that I think would just be the perfect match for my wardrobe. So we're also conserving space and mindfulness, and I'm very aware it's the beginning of March, so I'm getting to be very close to the time where I need to do a wardrobe switch out, which will kind of swap out the bags visually, because right now I have a lot of dark smaller ones and those can go back into their little wintry home. Now this was gifted, I will link it down below. If you are an aspiring influencer or an influencer and you aren't on Shop My, highly recommend. I will link joining down below, because a lot of times I discover more brands from that and I get gifting that I wouldn't expect to have gotten. And I don't remember if I actually picked this color or not. I think I couldn't decide on what I was choosing, but I ended up, they asked if I wanted to try their like candle holder, and it's kind of like a trinket holder. They had a couple of different colors. One that I felt like was slightly blackish, one that was slightly brownish. Neither of them felt perfect for me, but then the clear one felt really nice. And let's see, I thought, yeah, it's a little bit too small for my big Nest candles, which is what I tend to keep around, but if nothing else, this will be the perfect drink holder for all of the places that I'm constantly like, why don't I have a cup holder? That will be perfect for me. It is lovely, it's really nice. It's actually kind of, it's got a nice weight to it. I feel like this would be a really good gift for somebody who's moved into a new home, because it's one of those, especially if you don't know somebody else's like taste decoration, this could be used in a multifaceted bunch of ways. Like there's endless opportunities for how you could use this. So if you got any housewarmings coming up, this would be the perfect gift. I will link it down below. I did get my next Harper's Bazaar in the mail and I am very grateful. I added in like a physical magazine to my routine this year because I wanted to just remind myself to A, switch off my phone, but B, to kind of be more slow and present with things. I did the Vogue subscription and Harper's Bazaar, and we'll see how I feel at the end of the year. I've had Apple News for quite a few years because for a while I just didn't want physical copies and to have like extra paper in my home, but for this year it's been really nice to have them. I think next year it might be when I travel I might buy one and have that kind of as something or as needed, but I find that it's a little bit of a struggle to find magazines these days, and this is such a good just comfy ritual whenever I just want to have like a coffee and a slow morning. I do find so much fun inspo, but I also feel like having done this for so many years, it's so interesting to me to look at all of these photos and to understand kind of the behind the scenes process of things from the end of somebody who's had a blog and been an influencer for like a decade. I just find it's really fascinating. But so before I take a little time to unwind tonight, I think I'm gonna actually do my junk journaling. I was trying to time it to be able to do it at the beginning of the month, and I wasn't sure when that would happen. I didn't get everything I wanted done today, but I did get quite a bit done. So I can knock several things off the list, which is wonderful. So excited about that. I know better for tomorrow, but I want to do my joy journaling, which is a lot like junk journaling, except for the fact that I've named it joy journaling because that helps drive the intention for me. If you've been around my world for a little while, you'll know that I'm really about intention and choosing my words carefully and putting a direction in which I want to draw my mind for something. And so joy journaling for me this year was really about honoring the joy in my life, but also being the person who could kind of turn the light on when it felt like things were getting dark, when it felt like my brain was wanting to dwell on things that weren't working, when it felt like everything that I needed to heal was kind of coming up and I was swarmed in uncertainty and just overwhelmed by all of the things that I know I will be better for, but it's really helped me pull myself out of that loop every single day. It's given me perspective on just how time passes so easily and how quickly things can change, but also just how often we make something bigger because it's something that we choose to dwell on. And so I need to print out one or two more things, but I try to print things off as I go throughout the month because I feel like when I get to the end of it, I forget that all of these things have happened in the span of a month. Certain content that I consumed, certain TV shows that I kind of got locked in on, the things that really caught me at the moment that I needed to be caught by them. So I like to print things off gradually, and I actually read a lot less this month. I read a lot more in January than I thought that I would. So I ended up doing a full page of this. I will kind of debrief myself on this month. I'm gonna go through my photo scroll right now and see what else I want to print off. But I have a little HP Sprocket printer. I don't know if I would exactly recommend this one, but it's been handy because these are all stickers and it's just easy enough to print things off, which I love. It makes it super handy for this specific project. And then I will go through and kind of do things as I feel like they need done. I've kind of done something different every single month so far because we're only, what, 2 months in? So initially I added sections for, you know, my 5-star reads, which I had a bunch last month, so I got to go ahead and fill all of those in. Once I started, I added dates to them. I saved a section for more 5-star reads. Some other books that I've read, I have added some things, you know, how it started, how it finished, looking at some stats that I'm tracking, but also just how important and where I feel focused. I have a feeling that this page will be so much smaller and so much more like solely focused on things by the end of the year, and that's exciting. I put some post-it notes in to kind of hold for things that I want to add later on, and then I've kind of just given myself, I did last month the January debrief, and then I did a page of I tried. I think I'll do that again, and I have in here certain beliefs that I'm really trying to make foundational in my life, and so I've kind of put the post-it there with the hope that at some point in this year I will be able to add and match kind of what I'm asking for. I really just had a little bit of fun with February. So now I'm gonna go in and figure out my February pages, make any notes for things, and just kind of capture the energy of this month, but to definitely go back through my phone and look for any other moments of joy that I just kind of didn't lock in on.